Right, let's tear into this thing. Satya Nadella's 2024 letter to shareholders.
Yeah.
We all know these things can be pretty dry,
Right.
but I think this one's got some juice to it.
Definitely does.
You know, he's laying out his vision for how Microsoft is going to dominate the AI world.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like way more than just a financial report.
What?
It feels like a blueprint for how they plan to stay on top when AI is changing the game so fast.
Exactly. And who's got time to wade through all that corporate jargon?
Right.
We're here to grab the good bits.
Yeah.
And figure out what it all means for the average person. So
Exactly.
first things first. Nadella spends a lot of time talking about Microsoft's history of reinvention.
Yeah.
They went from that boring software company to owning the cloud.
Right.
Now they're betting the farm on AI.
Pretty wild, right? I mean, their whole philosophy seems to be built around this idea of embracing change.
Yeah.
Even if it means disrupting themselves.
It's like they've got this sixth sense for spotting the next big thing.
For sure. And, they've been a platform company since day one.
Oh, yeah.
Back in 1975, they were founded on this idea of enabling others to create.
That's pretty forward-thinking for the 70s.
Totally.
But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Nadella drops some serious knowledge bombs about how AI is already changing the world.
Yeah, he does.
And we're not talking about some, far-off sci-fi bullshit.
No.
He's talking about real-world shit happening right now.
Yeah, he lays out these crazy examples. It's like he's showing off.
Give us some of those examples.
So Kohl's, this Australian grocery chain,
Okay.
using AI to make 1.6 billion daily predictions.
1.6 billion.
Yeah, they're using it to optimize their stores, figure out what people want before they even know it, and, help shoppers find what they're looking for.
That's crazy.
Then you've got Unilever,
Okay.
the company behind a million different products,
Right.
using AI simulations to speed up their product development.
Okay.
They're ditching all those old school lab experiments and replacing them with AI.
AI is taking over the lab coats and beakers?
Right.
That's wild.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
We've got a Brazilian bank,
Okay.
Itaú, using AI to write better code.
So they're using AI to write its own code.
Pretty much, and this is becoming a huge thing.
Yeah.
Companies are using AI to basically automate their coding.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But what about regular people? Is this just, some fancy toy for big corporations? Or can AI actually make a difference in our lives?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And Nadella seems to think that AI has the potential to impact everyone.
Okay.
From CEOs to farmers in Indonesia.
Wait, farmers in Indonesia, what are they doing with AI?
They're using this AI-powered app to boost their yields. It's like AI is helping them become better farmers,
Okay.
figuring out the best ways to grow crops and all that.
Interesting.
It's a pretty cool example of how this technology can be used to solve real-world problems,
Yeah.
even in developing countries.
We've got AI helping us find groceries, making products faster, and even helping farmers grow more food.
Exactly.
So what else you got for us, Satya? Don't leave us hanging, man.
Well, get this. Nadella goes on to paint this picture of what he calls the agentic era, where AI agents basically become our personal assistants on steroids.
Hold up. You're telling me AI could, handle my schedule, book my flights, maybe even deal with my inbox?
He's talking about different types of AI agents. So personal agents,
Yep.
business agents that streamline all those boring operations.
Right.
And even cross-organizational agents that make collaborating with other people smoother.
So AI is going to be our super efficient, never sleeping assistant.
Exactly.
But how exactly is Microsoft planning to bring this whole agentic era to life? They're not just sitting around daydreaming about it, are they?
No way they're putting their money where their mouth is. Nadella outlines 3 key platforms that are driving their whole AI strategy.
Okay, late on me.
So first there's Copilot, which he describes as the new UI for AI. It's basically the bridge between us, the simple humans, and this brave new world of AI agents.
Copilot, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds fancy.
Right. But it's not just about a slick name. The Copilot stack is the real powerhouse.
Okay.
You think of it as the engine, the infrastructure, the data, and all the tools that let companies build their own AI copilots and agents.
Okay.
So Microsoft's basically giving everyone the building blocks to create their own AI solutions.
So Microsoft's like the Home Depot of AI.
Exactly.
Providing all the tools for the DIY AI revolution.
Pretty much. And then you've got Copilot devices, which are Basically, PCs and other gadgets specifically designed to take advantage of all this AI goodness.
Okay.
He specifically mentions these new Copilot Plus PCs, which I'm guessing will be all over the place soon.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Microsoft is going all in on AI with this whole Copilot thing.
Yeah.
But, most of us are just trying to survive the day.
Right.
How is this going to change the way we actually work?
Well, that's where Microsoft 365 Copilot comes in. Nadella spends a good chunk of the letter talking about how it's already changing the game for knowledge work. Think of it like an AI intern who lives inside Microsoft 365, except this intern is like a goddamn genius and never needs a coffee break.
I like the sound of that.
Right. It helps you blast through tasks faster, have more efficient meetings, and basically automates all those soul-crushing workflows that make you want to bang your head against a wall.
So it's like having a super efficient assistant who never sleeps, never complains, and probably doesn't even need a salary.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up?
And Nadella throws out some stats that are pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, like what?
He's claiming up to 70% productivity improvements with Microsoft 365 Copilot.
70%?
Yeah. He's talking about integrating the web, all your work files, and even pages into this new AI design system.
Yeah.
It's all about making everything more seamless and intuitive so you can focus on the stuff that actually matters.
I like that.
Yeah. 70%. That's insane. Imagine getting all your work done in like a third of the time.
Right, you could finally have time for all that shit you always put
yeah.
off. Learning a new language or writing that novel or finally organizing your sock drawer.
Exactly. Or, just taking a damn nap.
Great.
But speaking of things that are good for the planet,
Okay.
Nadella also dives into how Microsoft is using AI to tackle sustainability.
Sustainability. Wait, are you telling me AI can help save the goddamn planet?
Well, Nadella seems to think AI can be a major player in the fight against climate change.
Okay.
He's talking about using AI to optimize renewable energy,
Okay.
discover new materials, and even help train people in sustainability skills.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We need all the help we can get with this whole climate change thing. But isn't AI itself kind of a resource hog, all those massive data centers guzzling energy?
Yeah, that's a good point. Nadella acknowledges that AI infrastructure can be pretty resource intensive.
Okay.
But he also talks about how Microsoft is working to make their data centers more energy efficient, exploring ways to reduce the carbon footprint of AI development, and even using AI to optimize their own sustainability efforts. It's like fighting fire with fire,
So it's a bit of a balancing act.
Exactly.
We need to make sure that AI doesn't become part of the problem while we're using it to solve other problems.
Right. And speaking of putting their money where their mouth is, Nadella drops this little nugget about how Microsoft has signed contracts for over 34 gigawatts of renewable energy.
34 gigawatts.
Yeah.
Dude, that's enough to power like a small country.
It's a massive commitment. It shows they're serious about reducing their reliance on fossil fuels and shifting towards a more sustainable future.
All right, so we've got Microsoft reinventing themselves yet again,
Yeah,
diving headfirst into the AI world and trying to save the planet along the way.
that's right.
What else is Satya preaching about in this letter? Is he going to tell us to start composting and hugging trees next?
Well, he does shift gears a bit towards the end, focusing on Microsoft's internal culture
Okay.
and their commitment to social impact.
Culture and social impact. Sounds a little fluffy for a tech giant.
It might sound fluffy, but Nadella makes it clear that he sees this stuff as crucial to Microsoft's long-term success.
Go ahead.
He's all about fostering a growth mindset, promoting diversity and inclusion, and basically creating a work environment where people feel empowered to do their best work.
I guess it makes sense you can't build groundbreaking technology without a team that's diverse and a culture that embraces change, right? But what about the social impact stuff? What's Microsoft doing outside their own four walls?
Nadella talks about how they're donating billions in technology and supporting nonprofits all over the world. They're investing in education, tackling social challenges, and generally trying to use their resources to make a positive impact on the world.
So it's not all about profits and market share. They're actually trying to be a force for good.
It seems that way, yeah. It's refreshing to see a tech company putting so much emphasis on social responsibility.
I'll admit I'm kind of impressed. But you know what really hit home for me in this letter?
What's that?
That story about the Indian farmer using AI to get access to government subsidies. It's like a perfect example of how AI can bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots,
Yeah, that story is pretty powerful. This farmer in rural India is using cutting-edge technology to improve his life and his livelihood. It's pretty inspiring.
It gives me hope, man.
Yeah.
Maybe AI isn't just about making corporations richer and our lives more convenient. Maybe it can actually make the world a better place.
It's definitely a possibility, but like with anything, it all comes down to how we use it.
Right.
We have to be mindful of the potential downsides, the ethical considerations, the impact on the workforce. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir, man. This whole AI thing is a
Yeah.
double-edged sword. It can be a tool for good, but it can also be used for some shady shit.
Exactly.
Right.
It's up to us as a society to make sure AI is developed and used responsibly. You can't just let it run wild without any guardrails.
Well, I'm not sure about you, but my brain is starting to melt a little from all this AI talk. We've covered a lot of ground, from Microsoft's grand plans for world domination to the potential for AI to save the planet and even help farmers in India get a leg up. It's a lot to process.
Yeah, no doubt, man. My head's spinning.
Mine too.
It's exciting. It's scary. It's everything in between.
Right.
But, going back to Nadella's letter,
Yeah.
I keep coming back to this idea of the human element.
Yeah, he doesn't shy away from that, does he?
Yeah.
Even with all this talk about AI agents and algorithms taking over the world, he keeps circling back to the importance of things like culture, empathy, social responsibility.
Right.
It's almost like he's trying to reassure us that we're not going to get replaced by robots anytime soon.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, it's still humans building this shit.
Right.
Humans making the decisions. Humans figuring out how to use this technology for good or for evil.
Absolutely. And I think that's a crucial point to remember. We can get all caught up in the hype and the fear.
Right. But it's important to keep things in perspective. AI is a tool, a powerful tool, but it's still just a tool. It's up to us to wield it wisely.
You can't just sit back and let the robots take over.
Oh, no.
We got to stay engaged, stay informed, and make sure our voices are heard.
Well said. And honestly, I think Nadella's letter is a good reminder of that. It's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about the impact it has on on society, on the planet.
Yeah, he's not just trying to sell us on the next big gadget. He's actually thinking about the bigger picture, about the kind of future we're creating with all this technology.
And that's something we all need to be thinking about, not just tech CEOs.
Right.
We're all part of this AI revolution, whether we like it or not.
Truth.
Yeah.
So what's the takeaway here? What are we supposed to do with all this information swirling around in our brains?
I think the key is to stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep asking those tough questions. What are the potential benefits of AI? What are the risks? How can we make sure this technology is used ethically and responsibly? How can we use it to create a better world for everyone?
Damn, that's some deep shit, man. You should write fortune cookies.
Maybe in my next life.
Right.
But seriously, I think it's important to have these conversations, to engage with these issues, and to make sure we're not just passively accepting whatever the tech world throws at us.
Well said, my friend. Well said. All right, folks. I think that's about all the brain power I can handle for one day.
Yeah.
We've dissected Nadella's letter. We've explored the potential of AI. We've even pondered the fate of humanity.
We've covered a lot of ground. Hopefully you've come away with some food for thought, maybe a little bit of hope and a healthy dose of skepticism.
And if you're not at least a little bit freaked out by the whole AI thing, you're probably not paying attention.
Right.
But hey, that's what makes it so damn fascinating, right?
It's definitely a wild ride, and it's only just beginning.
Damn straight. So buckle up, folks, and keep your eyes peeled. The future is coming at us faster than a self-driving Tesla. And with that, I'm out. Time for a beer and maybe a stiff drink. See you on the next deep dive.